Hello everyone and welcome back to the round of 64. My name is Rakgoska. I'm your host and sponsor for your tournament and your caster, and I will be bringing you these games. Still churning my way through the round of 64, but I'm getting better. I've got a lot of time today and tomorrow, so I'm going to be knocking out a bunch of these games here. We do have Ninjamuffin, our 7th seeded Zerg player who was Terran, switched to Zerg. Could pay out for him, might not, we will have to see, versus his opponent Rhino, spawning as the Green Terran and is seeded currently 10th. Ninjamuffin did mention me that he did want a race change. I said it probably wasn't the best idea in a best of one tournament, but he's like, hey, I want to give Zerg a try, and I was like, go right ahead, just let your opponent know. But he didn't. Anyway, Rhino says it's all good, and we will see how this game takes underway. We will see if the surprise of race changing helps out, or if he's just no match for the mighty, mighty Terrans. Good luck, have fun, GG, and all that sort. Meanwhile, here looking at the players' bases, we have barracks going up at the usual time. We've got no Zerg opening yet. Probably going to expand first, as he is currently climbing towards that 300 mineral mark and is at 15 supply, which is weird because normally you want to throw that down on 13 or 14. So it looks like he decided to produce a few extra drones just to get his economy just a little bit further ahead. Could be risky, could pay off, we will have to see. There goes that expansion, and boom, throwing it down. Expansion Zerg style. Me, I'm a big fan of doing this as well. Getting that early expansion and getting the spawning pool and a bunch of spine crawlers, a bunch of queens, and a whole lot of money. I love money in this game. It's a lot of fun. But alas, I usually get rushed and then die, and then I'm like, well, why didn't I win? I had all these drones, and I'm like, well, wait, drones don't attack. And ooh, sneaky, throwing down a bunker. And this bunker, can it be seen? No, it cannot. It's right there. It's an invisible bunker. So we will definitely be seeing some 2 Rex pressure here coming from the Disco Rex. Not Disco Rex, Rhino. Ha! We'll see Disco Rex this game later. Ooh, 2 barracks are now complete. Will he get a supply depot? Ooh, he's even throwing down the supply depot. When he is rallying Marines down to the bottom, the bunker is just about complete. 2 SCVs are even down here on the bottom. Could even throw down a secondary bunker just to rub it in his opponent's face. But alas, he chooses not to. And from what I've heard, if you set an SCV to auto repair and you put it in a bunker, supposedly it can fix the bunker from inside. But I don't actually know this. Oh, decides to cancel the expansion right away instead of letting it just wither and die down, which could be, you know, he definitely saved money by doing it that way. Can get his pool down right away, can get a couple extra spine crawlers down right away. But it could definitely set him behind, as most. I mean, it does force this pressure to end faster than normal. But he does it pretty smart because he didn't actually overcommit to units. So very interesting. I mean, he did get these 2 spine crawlers. He is getting Zergling speed right now. His queen's just about done, but he didn't actually commit to making a whole bunch of Zerglings, and currently has a lot of money in the bank. And now that this did get removed, he can actually throw up that expansion a lot safer. So that actually is you know, I mean, it does delay this expansion, so I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I'm thinking maybe just building extra units might have been better than canceling that, but it's definitely a good move so far, building a barracks right here at the homeland. You got to be careful when you put barracks or bunkers like this, because if you get anything too close here, then this ramp is basically blocked off to tanks, which makes it rough. And we do have, ooh, his expansion's just about halfway done, so we definitely delayed the Zerg expansion, allowing him to get his expansion up just a little bit sooner, possibly. And throwing down that bunker, so he's making a nice little wall here. And, ooh, here come the Zerglings. So slow. It's so weird to see slow Zerglings. You don't usually see those very often. They're going to run into a whole bunch of Marine fire and get taken out quite quickly. And it looks like the Marines are chasing the Zerglings. We've got a little Marine Zergling dance going on here, and they decided to take out, ooh, cut back, and oh, juke the Marines, and were able to get out of there, but they run into a bunker and cease to exist. You know, those Zerglings were pretty tricky. They did manage to sneak by, lifting off, landing the orbital command, deciding to make it a just leave it as a command center instead of warping it into an orbital right away, which is perfectly okay. You know, you can get your expansions sat a lot quicker. Start producing if you're doing like a transfer, it works out a lot better. But you won't have that energy right away, and you can't actually produce SCVs while it's morphing into an orbital. So it's usually better just to morph it to an orbital up top. Make sure you're ready to go down, and then throw it down. Marines here are deciding to push out, and let's see what they're gonna meet. We've got a spine crawler, second spine crawler, a bunch of speedlings, and a queen. If he engages this correctly, like up in here, he could probably get all these zerglings taken out. Or if he goes down here, you could probably reach the hatchery without taking too much damage. Decides to focus down that one spine crawler, but is getting picked off by the second spine crawler. Zerglings come in for the surround, and it looks like these Marines are going to get cleaned up quite nicely, actually. No micro at all from Rhino, as he just let those Marines hover on that Vespian geyser, and the Zerglings were able to get a surround and throwing down a second spine crawler. So we traded a whole bunch of Marines for one spine crawler and a few Zerglings. Not the best use of those Marines, but hey, they were able to do some damage. They got some licks in. Now that orbital command is up, and we have a huge SCV transfer heading down just to keep that main from getting mined out nearly as quickly. It's something I need to actually practice on doing in my play. Is I just start I let this base get saturated, and then I just rally all of my new SCVs to this base, and then when this base runs out, then I move them to the third base, and it's not nearly as economical as doing it this way and then keeping to produce SCVs to mine here and down there. Mines the bases out a lot slower, so it keeps a more steady income, whereas if you look at my income graphs, it's like a huge spike in income and then a huge drop and then a huge spike and then a huge drop, which also has to do with mules too, because I love dropping mules. Ooh, Zerglings are moving out and working on some gold rocks. Zerglings do about 2 damage to rocks, so we will be here for quite a while. Alright, what kind of tech do we have coming out here for our Terran player? We've got some Hellions on the way. Do we have Blue Flame? No, no Blue Flame. Starport is now being produced, as well as more Marines. Viva la Marines! Ooh, lots of Zerglings here now. Looks like the Zerglings decide to abandon the rocks. No, just wants to go to the rocks. Does see that Hellion, and that Zergling is getting some nice damage done on that Hellion. No micro really at all. Looks like that one was set to just a command to move there and wasn't really being paid attention to. Switching out the factory for the tech lab, or the tech lab factory for the starport. And do we have a Banshee coming? Mr. Banshee? Mr. Banshee! Yes, there's a Mr. Banshee. We loves me some Banshees. And Cloak. Ooh, getting Cloak as well. Very sneaky. Do we have any detection up? No, no detection as of yet, so this Banshee could actually get in here and do quite a bit of damage. Zergling's working on taking even out more destructible rocks, so it looks like Ninjamuffin is planning on taking this to the later game as he is setting up for a 3rd and 4th base. Do we have anything like that happening from Rhino? No, it looks like he is just working on getting these Marines built up and working on getting that Banshee out, and factory with a tech lab going up, so we could be seeing some siege tanks come out of this as well. Spire is on the way, 8 more Zerglings. Cloak's just about done. Stimpak's about 1/3 of the way done, and here comes the first Banshee. Deciding to throw up 2 supply depots in Tasteless Secret Hallway just to prevent any kind of counterattacks or backdoor aggression. And I don't know, supply depots really only have like 400 life. I probably would have thrown like an engineering bay down there instead. Just then you can use that for the upgrades for your infantry units, since he is focusing on pretty heavy bio composition. And then that way it's got just a little bit more life and still manages to block that off quite nicely. First siege tank is on the way. Siege tech hasn't even been started. Second Banshee's almost done, which means Cloak should just about be finished as well. And where's that first Banshee? I see the second Banshee's on its way. Where's the first Banshee? Ooh, lag spike. That's no good. Oh, there's the second Banshee. Oh, spotted by the Zerglings. That's not something you want to have happen. Queen is on its way en route to help defend, and he decides to gank Zerglings with the Banshee. Not the best use of a Banshee, but hey, it's a Banshee nonetheless. Best use for a Banshee against Zerg, killing tech structures. because spore crawlers are on their way up as we speak. But you definitely want to be taking out gas geysers, hatcheries, spires.